Okay, I am excited. I will be taking part in the literature readathon for this week, and my goal is to have a good time and try to get bingo. And for this, I just want everything that I'm reading this week to be able to tick off one of the things on the bingo board. So my goal is to ultimately get a bingo, but we really want to have good vibes this week. But currently I have a decent amount of books on my physical TBR, and I really want to make a dent in that, so I'm only going to be trying to read things from there. Let me show you those. Okay, so currently this is everything that is on my physical TBR, and I want to try to get to many of these as I can, or just make a dent in this. So let's see. So in this first stack, I have The Love Simulation, Audrey and Bash Are Just Friends, One Golden Summer, The One Who Knows Me, Stages, Check and Mate, Love Theoretically, and Fourth Wing. And then in this second stack, you can't really see these top two, but the first one is When He Was Wicked by Julia Quinn, and the second one is Guilty as Sin, and I got that from like a library book sale. But the next bunch is A Legend in the Baking, The Beach at Summerlee, The Unwanted Marriage, A Love Song for Ricky Wilde, Taste Like Shakar, Again Rachel, Lost in a Book, A Thousand Fires, and I'm Speaking Out. This was a gift, so this is like a chicken soup for the soul book. But yeah, those are my two stacks. But I'm thinking this stack right here are the ones I want to get to or more interested in now than these. So I might not really be reading a whole lot from this pile, but we will see. Okay, that's what's currently in my physical TBR and those two piles. And for me, it's getting up there. I feel like I have a lot of things that I just haven't read yet. So for me, typically, I can't have a lot of things on my physical TBR. So a lot of the booktubers that I watch, and maybe it's not all of them, but some of the ones that I've seen recently, they'll just be mixing in their unread with their read books on their bookshelves. And I just can't do that. I wish my mind worked differently, but I can't. I have to separate it. I have to know what I haven't read, and I need to physically see it so that I make sure I read it. And I'm the type of person that once I buy a book like with my money, I need to read it, or in my head it's like a waste of money. Like, you could have spent your money on something else, but you bought this book, so you better read this book that you just spent your money on. So that's how I see it. After a while, if I bought a lot of books, I need to like get through them before I get more, because I don't know, maybe I'm anxious or whatever. I just can't have a big physical TBR, and I have to get through most of it, and that's just how I am. And I'm with that with other things too, especially clothing. Like, if I buy a piece of clothing, I have to wear it, or else I think it's a waste of money. Like, you spend money on this, you need to wear it. So everything I buy, I've worn at least once. But enough with that tangent. Let's get into the books I want to read for this readathon. Went through my books, and I just chose one book that could fit each prompt. And again, her announcement. Oh yes, this is hosted by Steph Loves, and she made an announcements video. She's like, there's really no rules. So you can double dip, you can triple dip, or whatever. So that's what I'm going to do. So if a book fits more than one prompt, I will put it in there. But currently, I've tried to get at least one book for each prompt. And if I don't know if a book has that, then I just didn't grab a book like that. So I'll go through the ones I do have. And as I'm reading the books, if I realize they have another prompt in them, then I will tick off that prompt as well. So for the summer read, I chose One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. Yeah, it looks like a good summer book. I've never read from her, but I've seen her books on my Instagram all the time recommended, and she does like a lot of summer books, so I was like, let me give her a try all the girls have been talking about her, so we're gonna read her. Or we're gonna try to read her. Next one, TBR Vet. Love Theoretically. This has been on my TBR for so long. I bought this so long ago and I haven't read it. I don't know why. I just haven't been wanting to read it. Also, I feel like Ali Hazelwood is one of those authors I might no longer buy because I just don't love a lot of things she's writing. Like, they're decent, good, average reads, but I don't want to keep buying books if I'm not loving them. I'll probably still read from her, but I don't know if I'm gonna buy from her again. I still have 2 physical books by TBR by her, so we'll see. But this one, I think it's like, oh, they're rivals, and I feel like in this one she's like fake dating someone and he catches that she's fake dating someone. So it's kind of interesting. It's different. We'll see. Okay, an indie book. I am choosing The One Who Knows Me. I saw this on Instagram as well. It might have been the author, but I think this one is a Christian romance and I want to give it a try and read it. I did start it, but that's as far as I gotten, so I'm hoping I can get to it this time and read it. A POC author, and I got Audrey and Bash Are Just Friends. So I've seen this all over, again, all over my socials. This is the same person who wrote 7 Days in June, I believe, and I loved that book. So, and I think this book is like a spin-off kind of. It's following her daughter, and I'm guessing this is Bash. It looks cute. He has a little surfboard, so I'm hoping to get to it this month, like the last month of the summer. So for flowers on the cover, I'm doing The Unwanted Marriage. This is continuing on a series. This is the 3rd book. I don't know why I like bought it thinking I was going to read it right away, but I just didn't. So I'm hoping I can get to it now. We will see. This is a part of a series that the siblings, their grandmother like arranges all their marriages, and I did enjoy the first 2. I like the second one better than the first one, so we'll see about this one. I think I'm a little hesitant to pick this up because I believe the main girl in here who he's supposed to marry is already had a boyfriend or something, so I don't love a love triangle, so we'll see how I feel about this one. Okay, so for new release, She Said Anything that came out in the year 2025. So I'm doing The Love Simulation, and when I looked to see when this came out, it looked like it came out in March 2025. So I would consider this a new release, and it fits the prompt. And I read the Kiss Countdown, and I really, really like that. And I don't know if this is like, is it a part of a series? I don't think it's a series, but she also, I'm not sure. Is it a part of a series? I need to check. But the first book, the guy is like an astronaut or something in NASA, and this also has to do something with space, it looks like. So I'm very excited to read this. I really enjoyed Kiss Countdown. This first, it says Steph/friend rec. I decided to just do a rec by Steph, and when I was watching her video, she said anything about Ali Hazelwood. So my other Ali Hazelwood on my list is Check and Mate. So yeah, this one has also been on here for a little while, so we'll see how I feel about this one, and depending on how I feel about these 2 books will probably determine if I continue buying more books from her or if I'm just going to get Ali Hazelwood's books from the library. And the last book prompt is a series, and then I chose A Legend in the Baking, which is the 2nd book in a series. What is the first one called? I think Bake It Till You Make It. Fake It, something like that. But I liked that one. That was a fake dating, and I really liked that one. So I got this one, and I'm hoping to be able to get to it this time. So yeah, there are a few things on this bingo board that I just don't have books that fit the prompts, or I don't know of them, because some of them they could possibly fit and I probably won't know until I read them. So if they end up then I'll cross them off. So I have the potential about like 8 books that I could possibly read from this week. And again, it could be more, it could be less. My main goal is to try to get bingo, and then after that hit as many prompts as I can. But you saw the other books I have, so if there's something else I want to read that fits one of the prompts, I'm gonna read it. But this is just potential TBR. Since I want to hit bingo first, I'm gonna choose my first book. Tomorrow is Monday, and that's when the readathon starts. So I'm gonna choose my first book so I can take that to work and read it, and then we'll go from there. I think I'm trying to see what I can do to get bingo the easiest. The last line looks pretty good, or I can do a first like column. I think that is first or third column. So I can do a summary, a poll pick, treat yourself, new release, or the bottom row, new release, a rec, self-care, a series. I can also do the third column, TBR, POC, spinner wheel, self-care. Which one? Okay, we're gonna pause and I'm gonna figure out. Okay, so the book I decided to start with is The Love Simulation. This is the one I'm interested to read the most out of the stack I showed you. I will be reading this for a new release, but it also is by a Black author, so it can also double dip into the POC author category. So I'm excited to start this, and we will start the readathon. So let's see how this goes. Okay, hello. I am currently reading my first book, The Love Simulation. And so far, I'm only about like 20-ish%, but it's going pretty good. Basically, this book is kind of like a spin-off of the first book, I guess. But if you've read The Kiss Countdown, the main character in that one, his sister, she is the love interest in this one. So she is the vice principal, and apparently she just didn't get the funding. They have funding for the school, but it's not going where she wants it to go. And she's the vice principal, and then our other guy, he is a teacher. And there is kind of like an initial like attraction to each other. So far we only read from her point of view. I don't know if we're going to read from his point of view because it's just hers right now. But it seems that they're both attracted to each other, but she likes to keep things like cross the line. She doesn't want to get too comfortable with any teachers because she is like in a higher power. She's a vice principal. So there's this simulation, this Mars simulation that a different teacher is like heading up, and if they make it through for 6 weeks, then they get funding for their school. And so she's hoping to use that funding to put towards things in the school that she wants to. So that's where we are now. So far, she said she has agreed to it and she wants to do it. But I'm enjoying this. It's a cute book. Definitely, I think the perfect book to start out this readathon. And it's not too long. And it just seems like it's going to be a good romance to read. So I'm excited to continue reading. But once I get farther along, I will let you guys know my thoughts. Okay, guys. I am still reading The Love Simulation by Etta Easton. And I'm at like 68% through. And it's really good. I'm really liking it. I'm reading this pretty quickly. Like, this is how much I have left. So I'm reading it pretty quickly. I'm really liking it. So, like I mentioned, these two teachers, and they have a crush on each other, but they have a crush on each other, but she is like in a position of authority, so she's trying to stay away from him. But they end up doing this simulation together, and it's really cool to see. Like, it's a simulation of Mars, so them and some other teachers, they're trying to raise money, so they're trying to work on the simulation together, but different things are happening to simulate that they're on Mars. So there's like they have to go like roam and find like a rover. They have to fix their antenna, things like that they would probably have to do if they were on Mars, that they are doing in this book. And so I like that part. That's really cool. It's different. So I'm really liking that, and I'm liking their relationship. And it's like she's like, I'm in a position of authority, but she really does like him, and he's like, well, why can't we just date? And I'm loving that he's like all for her. But I'm really liking that. It's really cute. I don't know if I'll finish tonight. We will see. But I am enjoying this book. Okay, so last night I finished The Love Simulation. And guys, I liked it It was good. I really did enjoy reading this. I would say if you like your romance with like maybe like a little bit of action or like a little bit of survival, this is something that is good to read, but it doesn't have too much at stake because again, they're in a simulation and nothing really bad happens like if they were actually on Mars. So if you like a little bit of action or a little bit of something else with your romance, a little bit, then I would say check this out. Definitely is such a good, it was just a good read, guys. So I highly suggest this one, The Love Simulation, and it is by Etta Easton. And definitely go check it out. It only has like 1,000 reviews on Goodreads. I didn't check how much it had on Storygraph, so I need to check that out, but so good. Oh, and I gave this a 3.75. It was very close to 4, but just didn't hit as 4. But again, it's good read. So I finished this last night, and then today at work, I started my next book, The Unwanted Marriage. And this one is filling the prompt with a book with flowers on the cover. So you can see the flowers, very pretty. I love the cover, and it has frayed edges too. So this is a part of a series, so it is the 3rd book of a series. So far it's going good. So in this series, it is a arranged marriage series basically. So there's I think 6 siblings, and their grandmother has arranged or is arranging all of their marriages. So a different sibling is entering into arranged marriage in each book. And I loved arranged marriage. So in this one, this is the first one where they were arranged when they were kids. So they have been destined and they knew they were going to be marrying each other since they were really young kids. So that's the first time in this series that happened. Typically in the other ones, they're adult and then their grandmother sits them down. They're like, you're going to be marrying this person. So this is the first, so all along since they were growing up, they both knew that they were going to marry each other. So there's that. So there is an age gap in this. I'm not the biggest fan of an age gap. Like I really don't like them, especially when it's like someone in their 20s and someone in their 30s. I just, like 30 and above, it does not really bother me. But like below 30, I just don't love it. And this one's 10 years. Yeah, 10 years, and she just graduated college, so that makes her probably around like 22, 23, and he's 10 years older than her, so he's probably 32 or 33, and I'm just like, that's a big, in my mind, a big difference, very different stages of their lives, 22, 32, so there's that, but like, it's not, like, if I get over that, the book isn't that bad. And I thought there would be a love triangle, but it doesn't seem that bad yet. But we will see. If the third of the triangle keeps coming in the story, I just don't I don't like a love triangle. I prefer when it's just the main characters, the 2 main characters, and then we just see their love unfold. So, but currently I'm on page 42, and it's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. But yeah, that's this book. And they, like, so they know they're supposed to marry each other, but they've been kind of staying away from each other and, like, keeping their distance. They don't really either one of them wants this, but they have to do it because it is arranged. I think the one reason this is kind of working more for me than it usually would is because, so they were arranged since they were younger, but they didn't arrange the marriage. Their families did. And then they didn't, like, they've seen each other, but they weren't really into each other, or like, I'm not saying into each other, they've seen each other, but they didn't really start a relationship with each other. And now that they're older and both at an appropriate age, he's like, okay, this is the woman I'm marrying, and he like finds her attractive and everything. So I think that's working for me, because I hate when it's an age gap and then the person's under 18. Even like, come on, like, the person's like not even legal and the other person's like over 18, and then they like kind of wait for them to get older, or like things like that. I don't like the waiting part. That bothers me. So that the fact that they weren't really seeking each other out and they're doing this out of obligation, that makes me feel a little bit better about this. But still, I don't love an age gap. But the thing that's making this work better for me is that this is kind of out of their control. Like, they don't really have a say in this marriage. They didn't choose this. I'll continue on and I'll let you know my thoughts as I get farther along. Okay, so I finished The Unwanted Bride this morning, like right before work I finished this book. And after finishing it, I'm rating it a 3.5. I think this one was good. The age gap didn't bother me too much in the book. Usually when they keep mentioning their age difference, that really bothers me, like bringing more attention to it. So it wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. Definitely this is a romance with a lot of drama. If you go to read this book, definitely look up trigger warnings before you go to read this. But I did like it. I did like the book. I think it's not my favorite in the series, but it might be my second favorite. They had to overcome a lot for each other. Mentally, both had to overcome a lot. But it was a good book. It was a good read. I'm gonna continue the series, but I usually love an arranged marriage trope. So I'm hoping I think there's 3 more books in the series. I'm hoping the next 3 my enjoyment will be better than the first 3. I don't know. It's like here and there. I'm like, it's a decent series, but I'm not loving it. But I'm definitely going to continue, and I'm hoping it'll get even better. So, okay, anyway, enough of my blabbing. I finished that one, so that's a second book off. So far, I've been doing like a book a day, so yay for me. But let's look at our little bingo board. So, with The Love Equation, I crossed off a new release because it released this year in 2025, and a POC author. And then for that one, for The Unwanted Marriage, I crossed off Flowers on the Cover, and then I also crossed off a series because it's the third in a series. So I almost have bingo. I just need to read one more book, and that is an indie book. And I have already started that one. And the one I started to do was The One Who Knows Me. So I had started this a while ago, and I had gotten to like page maybe like 17 or 18 and kind of put it down and never picked it back up. But I'm going to try to get through it and finish it for this readathon. So right now I'm on page 48. So far so good. I started reading this again at work. I'm definitely not going to be able to finish this tonight. So far haven't gotten like really into it. So, and I also have things to do today that I'm not going to be able to devote so much time to reading. So, not going to be able to finish this book, but again, I only need one more book to complete bingo, so I can take another day to finish this book. But this one is a Christian romance, and who are our main characters? Jaden and Tiana. So they're both are going to college. So right now we're like them before. Right now we're seeing them before college, but I believe they're going to be going to college very soon. And it definitely is very focused on faith. So both of their families seem very religious, and Tiana's kind of like going through something where like something has happened in her life where she doesn't really believe in God anymore, or doesn't really, and I don't want to say doesn't believe, but doesn't really trust that he will protect her or do all these things like her family does. Like, oh, he'll always guide us or whatever. So she's like struggling with her faith right now, but no one knows but her, and she doesn't want to tell her family. Then we have Jaden, and it seems like he had a traumatic event, lost someone close to him, but that got him closer to God because of this person. So it seems like this person really, I'm not sure if they really loved it, but so far I'm saying it seems like after they lost this close person, their religion and their relationship with God got even bigger and stronger. So that's where it is. So I'm wondering, of course they're probably going to be meeting up, and I'm wondering what's going to happen when they meet up. And they're both like in different faith journeys, so we're going to see what happens with that. But yeah, this is, the author is Joan Mbola. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but this is the first in a series. If I enjoy this one, maybe I will continue on with the rest of the series. But I'm only on the first couple pages, and we will see. I just haven't been into it, and I haven't gotten to a part where I want to continue this read. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully there'll be like a part in the book I'm like, okay, I can't put it down. But right now it's okay. I'm not hating it, but it's just like, again, I'm not constantly wanting to pick it up. But I am determined to finish this week to get my bingo. So I'm reading The One Who Knows Me by Joan Mbola. And I'm definitely at the part of the book where I want to like read more of it, keep reading. Because I mentioned before, I was like, oh, you know, it's okay, but I'm like not wanting to keep picking it up. Now I'm more into the book and I'm enjoying it a lot more. They're both in college now. They both happen to have the same major, so that's cool. And they find out like they're both like Christians but in different faith journeys. And she kind of seems like, I don't want to say lost, but like not sure. She's just trying to have a fresh start and she doesn't know how to do this fresh start. Woo! Sorry, I'm currently watching an Eagles preseason game, so I'm a little distracted. Let me just try and finish this. So yeah, they're in college. They learn about each other's faith journeys. And so she's like trying to be like a fresh start in college. She's first time alone, always been surrounded by her parents, and I think she's just trying to, she seems like, okay, I'm tired of everyone just being like talking to God about me, this, that, and other. That's what it seems like. And she just wants to have fun at college, and she has an experience at a party and it's just not what she thought. And he finds out that she was at a party instead of like going with him to church or like a youth group thing at church, and she thought he would like scold her, but he was just being like really, because she came back not like looking great, not feeling great, and he's like, can I help you with anything? Let's make you feel, like helping her feel better, like get over, because I think she was like hungover, like get over whatever she was going through and help her out and not like scold her. Other people in her life, like previously, like in high school, would have scolded her and be like, what are you doing, blah blah, but he is doing a different approach. And I think that is what's working right now. Like she's like, oh, he didn't scold me, he didn't say like you shouldn't do that, that's not Christian, like things like that. He was like, hey, I just want to help you get better, feel better, and didn't say anything about it. So I thought that was kind of sweet. So maybe that's what she needs, and like that different approach and just his like kindness. So that's really cute, and like they both like each other, so that's really sweet and cute as well. But I'm enjoying it. I am maybe like 40% through this book, and I'm like watching this preseason game because like there's not a lot of stakes during this game, so I'm not like invested, but I'm having it on the background. But yeah, I'm gonna be like back and forth between reading this and watching some football, but so far having a good time. I don't know if I'll finish this tonight. If I don't finish it tonight, definitely will be finishing it tomorrow. And after I finish this, I would officially have bingo. Having a good time so far. So I finished The One Who Knows Me, and it definitely got better. I would rate this a 3. I just wish there was more romance. I thought it would be more romance, but it was mostly focused on kind of like their journeys with God and their Christian journeys. So yeah, I just wanted more romance. Like in this first 10% of the book is when they kind of like met, and then like the last 10% of the book, he like says, I like you. And I was like, I like a slow burn, but I know they had a lot going on, but it just felt like if this wasn't romance focused, it was mostly focused on their spiritual journeys, which is fine. I just expected there to be more focus on the actual relationship. So it's a good book. It's just not what I expected. Yeah, I was looking at, so this is a series, and I was looking at the other books in the series, and they're following characters that we have already met in this book, and their romance will be adult, because this is followed around college age, and the romances in the future are more like adult romances. So maybe I will enjoy those more. So I might continue in the series. Like, overall, the book is a good book, and I'm hoping in the future the other books will focus more on the romance. But we will see. So I think I'm going to read the second book, or, you know, I'll continue the series. And if it's still, like, heavily more about like the spiritual journey than the romance, I don't know if I'm going to continue the rest of the series, which is absolutely fine. That's not what I expected. I expected them to be like focusing on God, Christian, but I thought we would focus on their relationship more. And I don't know, it didn't really focus too much on that. It mostly focused on each of their journeys with God. So it's just not what I expected. But if you are looking for a book that's like a Christian book and it kind of focuses on like someone who's not sure where they stand with God and they're like going through this journey, this might be for you. I think this is a good book for like younger, I think it's more like a young adult. So like if like they're in high school or even beginning college, because these are 2 college students, and kind of you're going through a spiritual journey and things like that, or like maybe you relate to the characters. Yeah, I think this is definitely more for like younger. So I'm hoping the rest of the series, since it seems like it's like more adult centric, it'll be a little bit, my experience might be a little bit more better. A little bit better. So yeah, that's it for this book. But we will have to choose what I'm going to read next. But yeah, I'm probably going to take a break for the rest of the day. Today's Friday. And then I want to try to read 2 more books for the weekend. Me and my sister are going to go see the Freakier Friday movie tonight. So I'm excited about that. So I'm probably going to do that for the rest of the night, for the rest of the day. And then I'll be back tomorrow and get some books. Read a book. Okay, so the next book I am picking up to read is Love Theoretically. And one of the main reasons I wanted to pick this one up is because it's been on my TBR for so long. I think it's the longest book I have. I think it's the oldest book I have had in my TBR. And when I went on Instagram to check, just like through my book hauls, 2023. I've had this book since 2023 and I have not read it. And so, yeah, I'm gonna read it for this readathon. I'm hoping I can read this in one more book this weekend. We will see, but this one is pretty thick, so I don't know. I do have a bunch of other things I want to do today, so I'm not sure how much I can get through this today. This may be the last book if I don't get through enough of it today, or there might be one more book after this. We don't know. But this is an Ali Hazelwood book. She did a bunch of like women in kind of like STEM, right? She did a bunch of like intelligent women. There was Love on the Brain, Love Theoretically. One moment, I have them here. Okay, the first one was the Love Hypothesis. So it's Love Hypothesis, Love on the Brain, and then this one. I have enjoyed reading all of them. I think the second one so far was my favorite just because, I don't know, the ending was just ridiculous that I enjoyed it. People have said they really like this one the most, so I'm hoping I like this one the most. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but Ali Hazelwood is one of those authors. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue buying their books just because I don't love them. Like, they're good to read, but then after that, I'm like, I never think I'm going to reread them. So I might be taking her books and getting them from the library instead. I have this book and one other book currently in my physical TBR, and depending how those reads go will kind of make me determine if I'm going to continue buying her books or if I'm going to just get them from the library or something like that. I'm not sure. I just haven't loved everything she's written for the most part, and everything's like, it's a good read, but I would never reread it. So I was like, is it worth buying, in my opinion? But I'm hoping this can change my mind, and her other book that I have. So we will see. But yeah, so this book the one reason I chose this is because it's the longest, so it can be for TBR vet. And I also believe that in a friend rec / Steph rec, she mentioned anything by Ali Hazelwood, so I think this can check off 2 boxes, which I'm very excited about. So we're gonna get to reading. I'm gonna be doing some other stuff today. I did a walk today. I went for a walk this morning, and then I went to the pool as well. So I had a busy day, and now we're gonna go do more reading for this book. Oh, but I didn't really tell you guys what it's about. So far, what I have gathered is that our main character, Elsie, she is working, but she needs some more money, and so she works at this service where they provide like fake dates for people, and so she's fake dating in this family, and I believe she's interviewing for a position, and I think the the guy she's fake dating, his brother, is like a part of the committee or something. I'm not sure. I haven't gotten that far. And so that like is not a good situation to be in. So he like knows she's lying about something. So I'm only on page 38, but this seems like an interesting type of twist on like a fake dating. Typically in a fake dating, the people who are fake dating are the ones that will end up together, but these two people are not fake dating. She's fake dating his brother, and it seems like she has no romantic interest in his brother. His brother has no romantic interest in her, but this is a different take on it, so I'm interested to see how this goes. Okay guys, so I just finished Love Theoretically, and this one's my favorite Ali Hazelwood by far. It was so good. I really liked this. I'm giving it a rating of a 4.5. I'm not sure how much I talked about before, but basically this is like an enemies to lovers story, which I love. So we have Elsie, and then we have Jack, and so Jack, I believe he's like a, what is he? Oh, so Jack is a physicist, and Elsie is a theoretical physicist. Oh, sorry, Jack is Jack is a experimental physicist, and Elsie is a theoretical physicist. And I guess their two types of professions don't get along, and she blames Jack a lot for what she's going through now. So they're like enemies, and it turns out she's like fake dating his brother when they first meet, and then she's applying for a job at this place where he is also one of the people to decide whether she gets the job or not. So he realizes like, hey, you were kind of lying, because when she's fake dating his brother, she gives a totally different profession. So he thinks she's a liar, and now he's one of the people that decides whether she gets this job that she really wants or not. We see like their relationship change, become enemies to lovers, and I really like the pace and like the progression of the story through the book. I really like that. I don't know, it just made me really like this. I liked how sweet and patient he was with her, and he was like, you're gonna be the real you when you're with me. You don't have to be anybody else. We love Jack. But yeah, this is such a good story. I know in the beginning I was saying like, I don't know if Ali Hazelwood is the author for me. I don't know if I'm gonna buy any more of her books because I haven't loved them. This made me reconsider all that. I will continue probably buying her books from now on, just because this one was so good. I was literally thinking about unhauling The Love Hypothesis, because like I don't think I'll ever reread it, but now like it's part of this type of group of books, I might keep all three of them. Oh goodness, yeah, this definitely changed my mind on Ali Hazelwood. So I'm definitely gonna, I think for now I'm gonna continue buying her books just because I love this one so much. This is really good. I heard so many people say this was their favorite, and I highly agree. So if you're looking for like an enemies to lovers story, check this one out. And if you want kind of like a twist on like a fake dating trope, so they're not the two that's fake dating, she's fake dating his brother. And again, I hate love triangles, and really there's not really a love triangle in this book, so that's why I liked it. So if you like that, I say give this book a try. This is definitely one of my favorites from Ali Hazelwood. So I'm so happy that I read this. And guys, this has been on my TBR for so long. Why did it take me so long to read this? It's just so good. So I'm glad I finally read this and got this off my physical TBR. Okay, now I'm gonna look at the board. Where is it? And see what we crossed off. Okay, so we crossed off TBR vet, and we crossed off Steph/friend rec with that book. I did take part in no, I didn't really take, I tried to take part in a sprint, but I unfortunately was not able to make either one. I didn't do the pole, didn't do the spinner wheel. I feel like I did a treat yourself. Wasn't there a treat yourself part? Oh yeah, I did that when I went to the movies. So yeah, so I only got one bingo. If I did like a self-care activity, I would have gotten more. I'm trying to think with self-care. Is a nap count as self-care? Because I did that. Took a nap. I'm not going to cross it off. I could have gotten bingo 2 ways if I did a self-care activity. And maybe I have time But yeah, so far I got diagonally, but I feel like I crossed off quite a few boxes on here. I definitely thought I would read a little bit more, but there's a lot of other things I had to do this weekend that I didn't read as much as I wanted to. So yeah, though Love Theoretically is going to be the last book because it's Sunday right now around 7 and I'm just not going to have time to read and complete another book, and I still have more things to do for the weekend, so I'm just going to leave it there. But let's take a look at everything I read this weekend. My first book, so we read The Love Simulation, which was new release and POC author. We read The Unwanted Marriage, which was flowers on the cover and I believe series, where The Only One Who Knows, which also could be for POC author, but since I already crossed it off, this was a indie book. And then the last one we read was Love Theoretically, which was TBR Vet and a Steph/friend rec. So yeah, these are the 4 books I read. Let's see. If I had to go in my favorite to least favorite, I would do Love Theoretically was my absolute favorite. And then we have, what was it called? The Love Simulation as my second favorite. Both such good books. Then The Unwanted Marriage, and then The One Who Knows Me was my least favorite out of the video. It's still a book, just wasn't what I was anticipating. But yeah, those are the 4 books I read for this week. I know I wanted to read around 6 books. I only got to 4, but I still, 4 is still good to get off my physical TBR. So I still have a lot more books to try to get off of that, but I'm glad I was able to read 4 books and enjoy them. So if you did the readathon, definitely let me know. I'm leaving a link to Steph Love, so that's her channel who came up with this readathon. I'm going to be leaving a link to her channel below. Definitely go check out her channel, check out her content. She's one of the creators I'll be watching constantly. That is all I have for this video. So until next time, I'm not sure when I'm going to see you again, or regarding reading, what I'm going to be reading next. But until next time, bye.